Welcome back to Talk of the Town, and I am joined now by Collette and Susan, and you ladies are the owners over at Pilates on Harrison. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Sure, glad to be here.
And today we are focusing on how you can feel better with Pilates. And so first I want to start off with, why should people do Pilates?
Well, that's sort of the question.
Yeah, right? The big question.
I think the main reason people do Pilates and should do Pilates is that it makes you feel really good. Everybody has stiff necks, shoulders, hips, all those things. Pilates is really great for alleviating a lot of that tension, builds a lot of core strength, so you sit taller, stand better, breathe better, all those things. So that is the main thing, just to feel better in your everyday life and in other activities you do.
Something we could all benefit from. Who doesn't want more of that, right?
Exactly.
So I want to know, is it like yoga? Because I think that's a big assumption, I think. Is it like yoga?
Well, there's a lot of similarities, especially in the benefits.
Yeah.
Like I just said, standing taller, feeling more open, a lot of those things. But it's different in the way you do the exercises. One, it has equipment, and the equipment has some resistance, so that's a little bit different. And it's also a little more strength focused. Pilates is a little more about flexibility. Pilates is more about strengthening deep core muscles, which also helps with flexibility, but not so focused on that.
So I know you mentioned that it's good for neck issues, but what if you currently have neck issues? Is it safe to do Pilates?
Yeah, neck issues is a little tricky. Some people start with a mat class, they walk in and they have to hold their head off the floor. It immediately hurts their neck more.
Yeah.
So that could be a little tricky way to start, but core strength is really good if you have problems with your neck.
Sure.
So we usually recommend, maybe with neck issues, if you're starting in a mat class, you're going to talk to your instructor and let them know they can modify some things. Or starting on the equipment is a really good way to do it because it's much easier on the neck. And of course, if you can do one-on-one, that's always really helpful for neck issues too.
So now this all sounds fantastic, you know, and who wouldn't want all these benefits, right? But I'm sure people are thinking, is this affordable? Is this something I can afford to do?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, Joe Pilates intended for us to do the mat work and the equipment work, to take classes, to do individual work. And so I think a very affordable way to try Pilates is to put together a practice that mixes all of those approaches.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I'd like to say something more about this. Our health and fitness is a precious commodity. And one of the reasons that I love doing Pilates is that I know it's going to benefit me years down the road. And I'm going to be an older adult with a greater sense of independence. And I'm going to live in a pain-free body because of the Pilates that I've been doing.
That's such a great point because you really have to think of that your body is a temple and you only get one, right? So you better take darn good care of it while you can.
Unless you're a Buddhist, then maybe you get a few.
Right, maybe you get more than, right? You never quite know. But yeah, that's a great point that it is an investment in yourself and that, you know, a worthy investment at that. And that kind of leads into my next question too. I want to know what both of you like doing the most about Pilates.
Well, I like the way it makes me feel.
Yeah.
Energized for one. And then you know that good kind of tired that you feel after you've done a full body workout? That's Pilates. That's been my experience.
Yeah. Awesome.
Collette?
Yeah. Oh, I would say very similarly, I feel stronger when I do other things. And I'm a dancer. That's my training.
Sure.
And I still teach dance at UW and still perform. And so the Pilates really helps me with doing that kind of those other activities. Yeah.
So what is the best way to get started if somebody is watching this and thinking, I could use some more of that in my life?
Yeah.
What's the best way?
Well, at our studio, Pilates on Harrison, we have a 6-week Introduction to the Equipment series, and it's a really nice way for people to get started. There are people who prefer to do a handful of one-on-one sessions to get started, however. And the nice thing about that approach is that the teacher can tailor instruction to the unique strengths and challenges that a person comes to the studio with.
Absolutely. And again, Susan and Collette with Pilates on Harrison, thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you
for having
And you are both just great examples too, both of you in such great shape. This is making me motivated, right? So be sure to go check them out. They're also off of Monroe Street, so really easy to find. But we'll be back with more Talk of the Town right after this.